Okay, Module 4, Lesson 26, question number 4. Solomon has read 1/3 of his book. He finishes the book by reading the same amount each night for 5 nights. A, what fraction of the book does he read each of the 5 nights? And B, if he reads 14 pages on each of the 5 nights, how long is the book? Okay, so this complex problems, the more bar models you do, the more it makes sense. So you just got to keep practicing, stick with it. So I'm going to break the bar model that I've created into thirds. Try to do the best you can to make the pieces the same size. You're not going to be perfect, but give it a shot. I'm going to label. So I make braces that show inside that this is what he read. Okay, and that's 1/3. So I can clearly see that that's 1/3. Now he finishes after that. This is what he has left. He finishes that by reading the same for 5 nights. The problem with that is that he's got 2 units in here. There's 2 units left to read, but we want to show that he's got to read for 5 nights and the same amount for 5 nights. Well, that doesn't work very well with 2 units left. So I try to think of the breaking apart that's going to work best with 5 nights, but 2 units. So I also go back to my common multiples and think of numbers that work well with 2 and 5, and the best is going to be 10. So I break each of the thirds into 5. Let me show you where those thirds were. Okay, there's a third. It's broken into 5. There's a third broken into 5. The reason I can do that is because 10 units works well with the 5 nights and the 2 units that were already there. Okay, so now, what do I do with that? Well, I need to show that space broken into 5 nights. So 10 units divided by 5 nights would be 2 units. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So this would be night 1. 2 more would be night 2. 2 more would be night 3. 2 more would be night 4. And 2 more would be night 5. I could draw that a little bit better than that, but I hope you get the idea. There's 5 nights. What fraction of the book does he read each of the 5 nights? Now there's one part that I really haven't done that I have to do. When I break 2 of those units into fifths, I need to break the other third into fifths as well. So the red section, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have 5 units there. So there are 15 units in the whole book. 15 units in the whole book. Okay, so one of those nights would be 2 units out of the entire book, which is 15 total units. So what fraction does he read each night? 2/15 of the book. That's the answer to part A. Now part B says, well, if he reads 14 pages on each night, so 14 pages on each night, that means that I have 14 times 5 there. But what goes in each of the other units? Okay, because I also have to figure out what he already read to get the total pages in the book. All right, so if I looked at this, there's 2 units for that 14. So 7 and 7, 7 and 7, 7 and 7, 7 and 7, 7 and 7. but also these units are also 7s. All the units were broken into the same size pieces. So what he read on the 5 days, I could do a couple different ways. I could take 14 on those 5 nights and multiply by 5, or I could take the units and it's 7 times 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 70 pages that he still had to read. And then over here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units that he already read. That would have been 1/3. So I can see there that there's a total of 105 pages in the book. Another way I could have done that is I could have looked at it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pages in the whole book, and done an algorithm on the side of 15 times 7, which also gives me 105. Okay, final answer, part B, 105 pages.